Hello and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my very first knitting podcast, hopefully the one of many. I want to be doing these more often, probably once a month, and then try to do a different video on the off weeks. I want to talk about what I've made, what I'm making, and then maybe some future projects since I've got so many things planned that I want to get out before the winter is over. I know the winter's just begun, but I feel like you have to think months in advance because some of these projects take a super long time. So I want to talk about the first project that I finished for fall. It has become a staple in my wardrobe. It is this self-drafted stranded colorwork cardigan, and I really can't say enough good things about this. I really enjoyed this project. It's knit on 4mm needles, and I just used yarn from Hobby Lobby that I had. I believe it was the Stork brand. I used the colors, the cream is the color Naked, I believe, and then this light tan brown is Teddy Bear, I want to say. I'll need to check back on that. But I created my own, this is my very first colorwork project that I, created my own colorwork chart. It's very simple, but I really, really love the vibe that it has. Let me put it on. Alright, so some of my favorite things about this is the pattern. Obviously, I love the pattern. I love these toggle buttons that I picked out. I got these off of Lind Hobby. Highly, highly recommend that site. I, for the first time, achieved a beautiful rolled neckline, 1x1 rib, and yeah, I really, really love a tight crew neck. That will be probably a theme in a lot of the projects that I have, is that I really, really prefer to have stuff like really high up on my neck. So yeah, one issue that I had was I accidentally made the buttonholes a little bit too big. They still work fine, but they could be a little smaller, and that's something that I would know going forward. This was my first time doing a 1x1 button band horizontally, I believe. I don't know. But it looks good. The fit is really, really good. This took about, I don't know, probably 4 weeks to do. I actually am planning on writing a pattern for this one. I call this the pointelle cardigan. I was going for a very specific vibe when I was dreaming up this garment. I really wanted something vintage feeling, maybe Western, but also kind of like a Cézanne, the brand type of vibe. Something delicate, dainty, but also more like Western vintage, maybe. I have these like images in my head, but I haven't even been able to like find inspiration online. So I don't know. It just lives in my head, and I want you to know that I achieved it, so great. But as I was saying, I would love to make a pattern for this. I am also hoping to do just a sweater version that I'm really excited about. I think it would be really nice to just have the bands go across and also carry it down onto the sleeve. I did not do the sleeves with the stranded colorwork because I was a little bit scared to, I don't know, try that. I thought that I would really, really hate the floats. The pattern is so close together that you don't have super long strands at any given point. So the inside, I still have to weave in some ends, of course, as always, but the inside looks pretty good, actually. I alternated. Sometimes I would catch the float, sometimes I wouldn't. As you can see here, I didn't, but I mostly did here, and it obviously looks a lot cleaner and nicer, but so you can if you want. Anyway, that is project number 1 completed. Project number 2 is my most recently finished project is this navy blue, because navy blue is my favorite. This navy blue shirt, sweater, collared shirt. This is actually my very first knit in the round item. I don't know why I thought that knitting in the round would be scary and unachievable, but, well, actually I do know, and that's because I used to do combination knitting where I would, in my stockinette, I would knit through the back loop and purl through the front loop, but I would wrap the yarn just the opposite way, so you still get stockinette, but you can't really knit in the round that way, so I really held off because I was too scared to switch to traditional knitting. So I made the switch finally. I was just tired of, I don't know, seeing people knitting all of these beautiful items, and they were knitting from the top down, and I so desperately wanted to do that as well. I knew that it would be a little more streamlined, maybe easier. I was tired of seaming up all of the shoulders that I was making because I made everything from bottom up, which it works. I actually can now see some pros and cons between doing it both ways, but right now I'm in my top-down era and I'm really enjoying it. So this is also hand-drafted, self-drafted. I used Sheep's Color Crafter, their premium acrylic, which at first I thought was going to be super scratchy. The very first skein that I used just did not, I don't know, it was one of those things where you start to knit and you're just like, I don't know if I want to keep doing this. It kind of made me feel sick that I had, bought all this yarn. And then I maybe didn't like it. I of course bought it online. I really don't have very many local shops to me. I have a Joann's and a Hobby Lobby, and that's it. And I don't really love the selection there. There seems to just be a lot of baby yarns, and that's kind of it. And then really thick acrylic, which I do love acrylic, but I wanted something lighter and navy blue, which no store had navy blue, so I went online, obviously. So yes, this is my first top-down sweater, and I actually really loved the process of knitting it top down. I did make a mistake. I made the back panel and front panel too long, so I did have to go through and do a little surgery. I had to pick up stitches here and then knit up to there, and then I seamed the sides together. There might have been an easier way to do that, but I just kind of needed it to be done. I didn't really want to think about it too much, and you can actually hardly see it. So I'm going to try this on and show you some of my favorite details. Alright, so I don't know if I said I was scared about the yarn being super scratchy, but it actually is super soft now. I don't think I ever finished that thought. Maybe I did. When I go back, I'll see that I did. The yarn is actually very soft and very like squishy in just a lovely way. I love the wear of it. the yarn itself is, I would say, very, very nice. It has a very beautiful halo effect that comes from just knitting it up and then wearing it. I have worn this quite a bit, and I've just barely finished it. So yes, the yarn is great. I highly recommend the brand Sheep's Color Crafter, and this is a like a light DK, I would say. It is knit on 4mm needles, and yeah, that is all about that. This was, not only was this my first top-down project, this was my first knitting in the round project, this was also my first double knitting project. The neckline is my favorite part about this. This was specifically exactly what I wanted. I am really proud of myself for achieving it because this came straight out of my head and through a lot of Googling, but there was just not a lot of information. So I'm proud of myself because I don't usually frog stuff. I'm usually like, no, it's fine, I'll just keep it and then live with it. But this time I said no, I'm redoing it if I don't like it. So I did end up doing this cross section here of double knitting and then the collar. I probably redid each of these like 3 to 4 times each. One of the sides of the double knitting up this way, I didn't have to redo that one. I did it right the first time, but because I liked it so much better than the other side, because I got the tension right on this side, I did have to redo this side again after I'd already done it 3 times. But that's okay because now I'm so happy with the outcome. Same with the collar on the neck. I could not find a tutorial or anything on how to knit this, and I ended up just doing trial and error. It took me a few days, but again, the outcome, the product is so nice that this is now something that I genuinely just throw on, which is kind of crazy coming from me because I typically have a very weird complex with the stuff that I make where I am just too scared to wear it out. I'm scared to use it because it just took so long that I don't want to ruin it, or like sometimes you spend so much time on it and then you just don't fully love it. But this shirt is something that I just truly love so much. And yeah, sorry if it's hard to see. Here's the bottom. Sorry if it's hard to see, but it's actually, it's pretty much everything that I was going for. I sort of did start to write a pattern for this. Again, this is probably going to be a theme for a long time because I have really never written a pattern and I don't know the ins and outs, and I've also never read a pattern. I've never purchased a pattern to use. I have like kind of followed patterns, but I am not a huge pattern purchaser and I don't really use them. I would much rather just design my own stuff and use that instead. But yeah, I guess the closest thing that I've seen is the Elizabeth blouse by Petite Knit. That was kind of an inspiration. I wanted something a little more cropped, and I'm sure there's differences. I haven't seen the pattern. The closest pattern that I know of to what I made is the Petite Knit Elizabeth blouse, I believe. And so I don't know, because this is so similar, I don't know if I will put a pattern out for it. I don't know. I'm pretty new to this whole pattern world and stuff. I've mostly just been, in my corner making up my own stuff. So if you would like to follow this pattern, let me know. I would love to share it, and I would love to get help, maybe grading or something. I need to look up how to do that. I have never graded a pattern, So that is something that I will be doing tons and tons of research on to just get right and perfect, and yeah. The last project that is fully finished is this balaclava that I made. It's not quite a balaclava. I would say I was going for more of like an oversized hood. It's just to put on in the winter, just to throw on. The ends are all still out, and I really need to, I've like worn this out, and I just need to take like the 2 minutes that it takes to weave in the ends, and I will, I promise. This was made out of some scrap yarn that I had, and I really love the, I don't know, it's confetti birthday cake type of pattern that the yarn makes. It's nice and will match like everything, all my coats and stuff. Yeah, this, I would change a lot of things about this pattern actually, I would say. I made it, and typically you have the flat part on the top. I put the flat part on the back, on the bottom. I don't know if you can see that. Sorry, these ends are just annoying. I wanted this hood feeling, and I like it. I just think that I would like a balaclava more. So I would, make this a little tighter. Probably put the flat part, try putting the flat part on the top. I do, this is bad, but my favorite part about this is how it looks when it's just on my neck like this. And it looks like a cool, a cool knitted hood. I like that you get more of a fashion statement moment when it's peeking out from like a coat or a sweatshirt. I really love mixing textiles and patterns and whatnot, so having a knitted piece is with, just a regular coat is just kind of fun and a little more interesting to put on. Plus it's warm and it has like a lot of utility, which I think is incredibly important. Alright, I live in a city kind of up close to the mountains, up in the west in Utah, so I really value accessories, winter accessories that are warm but also look nice. It kind of makes winter more fun and less of a slog to get through. I don't know. Maybe if I made a new one of these for my stash like every month, I would be more excited to go out on walks and go to the park. And yeah, I just think it's really important to get outside in the winter, so anything that can help me get there is super just valuable, really. This was knit on with size 8 needles, I think, size 9. It's a large acrylic from my stash that I had left over from a project last year, so I just used up not very much of it, which was really nice. So I think this is like just a perfect project. This took me about in 24 hours, I was knitting a ton, but I did make it in a day. So a very quick project. Highly recommend balaclavas, bonnets, hoods as a fun way to use up your stash and to get rid of, just old yarn that you don't have enough of putting in a sweater. Alright, speaking of balaclavas, I started one a while ago. I just haven't really been working on it too much because I've been excited about other projects. This one is going to be a gift this year, and so I have time. Since the other balaclava didn't take too long, I'm not super worried. This is being knit again with stash yarn on very large needles, so I am just kind of procrastinating it a little bit, but it's been fun. It's been fun to just kind of keep around, and I just knit a row every once in a while, just on my dresser permanently. This is being knit, like I said, with some stash yarn. This is on, I don't know what size. I'm gonna guess 8 needles. And again, yeah, stash yarn, just a fun color combo that I said it was going to be a gift, but I actually I'm going to be jealous of who gets this. So this is just the top, and this is it so far. I have about this much, and then I have about the same amount of the third color, so this will probably be enough to make one. And yeah, there's really not much to say about this. Again, this is all just stash yarn. So yeah, to reiterate, you can always use a little bit of yarn to make a balaclava, and it's just a fun way to add more color into your winter wardrobe and just to stay warm in the winter. The next work in progress that I have is something that I've also kind of been procrastinating on. I finished one sleeve and I need to do the other. This is just a little sweater for my son. It doesn't take super long. It won't take super long to finish this, so that's kind of why I put it off. He's been pestering me about it a little bit less, so I've kind of been focusing on my own stuff, and this will probably end up being a Christmas gift. This is knit on, again, 4mm needles. I pretty much have been just on the 4mm needle grind for all of my past projects. Future projects, I hope to size up sometime soon. I can't imagine I forgot what it was like to knit up a sweater on like size 8 needles. It seems like it would just go so fast. I wouldn't even know what to do because then I'd have to think of another project. So yeah, I just need the sleeve and I need to do the collar, and then I will be duplicate stitching a little Lego guy on the front. That was the request, and that is what I will be doing. And yeah, I don't have much to say about this. I didn't pick out the color, but I do love it. It's kind of a blue-gray. This yarn is the same brand as my Pointel Cardigan, so it is an acrylic polyamide. It's an acrylic blend of sorts. So it will wear well. Most importantly, it can be washed. I would have a really hard time making something for my 4-year-old and not being able to wash it properly because 4-year-olds are kind of gross. I can't really control how often he wipes his face on his sleeve, so yeah. Anyway, this will be really cute and I will probably get to work on it very soon. It's November. If I want to be done by Christmas time, I've got plenty of time, but I, just need to make time for it as well. The piece that has taken up all of my recent time has been this wool sweater. I am very, very, very close to finishing it. It is knit on 4mm needles, as I was saying. That's pretty much everything I do. It's Drops Lima in the color gray mix, I think. Color 9015. So this yarn, this is my very first wool sweater. I've mostly just used acrylic, as I was saying, and using wool has been fun and new. This is a wool and alpaca blend. So this sweater I am hoping I'm excited to kind of get into the blocking process. With acrylic, I don't usually pay attention too much to how things will block. This one I had to be a lot more conscious of. You have had to use so many skeins of this, and I actually had to reorder because I did not order enough the first time because I just did all of my math wrong. So I had to get like 3 or 4 more skeins of this because each skein is 100 meters per 50 grams, which I need like, you know, I don't know, like 1100 meters, 1300 meters to make this. So I think I've lost track. I know I used 5 skeins just for the body. So we are on skein like 8 or 9, maybe even 10. I am just working on the collar, 1x1 rib. It will be a rolled neck. And yeah, again, top down, knit in the round. It fits very well. I would say it's got a lot of potential. Everything is a little bit short, and I read that drop sleema grows quite a bit. So I'm hoping that once I block it, it will grow to be the right size. I'm really excited to see what it will block as. Yeah, this has taken me about, I don't know, this has been like 2 or 3 weeks worth of work. But some of the details that I really like, again, I love just a good seam, like, what's it called? Not seamed. I love a good picked up shoulder edge, I guess, to knit in the round. Another detail that I really like is just super long cuff, and I decreased around one of the last rows, so it's not quite ballooned, but it gets sucked in a little bit, if that's the right word, cinched in. So the shaping, I really love the shaping of this. It looks super nice. I roughly followed the same layout pattern that I did for this one, so yeah, as you can see, this is, it's very similar, and that's because I knocked this one out of the park, so I wanted something else that was similar. And the goal for this sweater was just to have something super warm, super cozy that I could throw on, and this would hopefully be more of like a heavyweight. Again, I live in a cold area, so I would love to be able to just wear this outside when it's getting really cold, wear this under a coat, and I would just say super warm at the park because we go to the park a lot. And yeah, again, when I look at this in the viewfinder, it looks like the proportions are off, but what I'm hoping to achieve by blocking is adding some length to the body and then a little bit of length to the sleeves. I don't need the sleeves to get wider, but I would like them to be just a little bit longer. And yeah, this wool, I would say, is it feels really nice. It's thick, it's spongy. I don't know if this is psycho, but I just love to squeeze it because it just feels very cozy and it feels very rustic. I love the rustic vibe. Like I can get past some scratchiness if, you know, I feel like I am living out on a sheep farm, baking bread, and walking through my field daily to take care of my animals. You know, that kind of vibe. Or like living in England or something. I don't know. Sometimes you just have to romanticize things, and this sweater romanticizes that for me. Yeah. Sorry if that's weird. Again, yeah, I will probably I'll show, definitely on social media, I will show the before and after for blocking. I'm just so excited to see the final product. I'm really excited to wear this. This is like the perfect gray mix, and I think this will be just a beautiful piece that I will just wear for years and years to come. That's all for everything I've been working on. I have tons and tons of projects planned. I have some yarn that I'm excited to use. The next project that I'm going to be working on is a colorwork, stranded colorwork project. I will be using, I got some Sheep's Color Crafter yarn. I had all of these plans, and then I got the yarn and the color was just off to what I wanted, and I just wasn't sure what to do because one of the colors was way more purple than I wanted it to be. I'm not like a plum purple, like lavender is about all I will wear in the purple realm, so I was a little bit disheartened by that. Then the red that I got, that I was supposed to do I was planning on doing a red sweater or maybe a red cardigan, and the red was just too, again, kind of purpley. Just really not what I had envisioned for those projects that I had planned. Also, I just wasn't sure if it was even going to look good on me. I didn't want to get, I'm not like super into, your seasons, what looks good on your skin tone or whatever. I do believe in wearing whatever you want to wear and stuff, but I will admit if, you're spending weeks and weeks on a project, you do want to wear something that you are going to love. You want to make something that you're going to love and wear for, hopefully years to come, and you don't want to spend money and time on something that you're just not going to love. So I was just kind of down about it. I wasn't sure what to do. But then I realized that I had always wanted to make a purple and red comboed sweater. I'd always wanted to use purple and red together, so these are the two colors that I got, and separately, just not super happy about it. I did not want to make a cardigan out of this. I did not want to make a sweater out of this, but together they pair really well and the colors feed off of each other very nicely. If you know me, I love a good low contrast color work. I think it's so interesting and fun. I just love low contrast things. So I have a swatch that I did of how these two would work together, of an idea that I'm thinking for a sweater, and I really, really love it, to the point now where I'm like so excited to use this. And just a side note, this is Sheep's Color Crafter, same that I used for this sweater, but these two are like way softer than this navy blue. So I don't know if there's something about the dyeing process or the lot that I got or something. Even though I really love how this feels a little more sturdy. This feels very soft and drapey. So that's just something to know about this brand, I guess, if you ever end up ordering it. This is the color Roermond, and this is the color Zutphen. These are named after cities. I can't remember if this is Norwegian or it's either Norwegian or from the Netherlands. I think it's from the Netherlands. These are, and so each color is named after a city in either Norway or the Netherlands. I should really check back on that. But this one is in the color Tinarlo. So yeah, not super helpful. If, the names would be a little bit nicer to be more reflective of the color that they're representing, but that's okay. I love a good theme. I love a good, creative decisions. So anyway, I am hoping to make a sweater that has both horizontal and vertical stripes. this will be new, this will be fun. I've never done something like this. I also love very small stripes, so I'm thinking 2x2 will be the thing. And yeah, separately, the colors are not it, but together, I think they will look very nice on me. So I'm really, really happy about that. I am planning on doing more of a mock neck, turtleneck type vibe for the neckline. I'll probably do all of my ribbing in this red. And yeah, I will hopefully be able to come up with some sort of pattern or at least color chart to use for this. And yeah, this is going to be my November-December project. That this will probably take me quite a while. I will be doing color work on the sleeves and whatnot, and I don't know why sleeves are just not super fun to me. They're fine. I can sometimes go pretty quick, but yeah, knitting color work sleeves in the round might end me, but we'll see. The last project, I wouldn't even call it a project that I have. It's really just revisiting an old project that I did last year that if I want to wear it, I need to redo something about it. I need to fix it. I have my candy cane sweater from last year. As you can see, it's got the same yarn as the balaclava that I made, so this will be a fun combo to wear. That would be awesome if I could wear them both. And yeah, this is like my Christmas sweater that I created. As you can see, this collar neckline thing is just not it. It was supposed to be, you know, a folded collar like this, and it kind of works, but I am just not in love with it. It mostly just folds up. I just made a bunch of mistakes about the tension, and I really didn't listen to my gut. And you know what? This is a perfect example of something that I've made that I was just like, you know what? I'll just leave it. Who cares if it's a mistake? I will be fine with it. And you know what? That's not the energy that I'm bringing into 2025. We are not just letting mistakes go by if it's really going to impede us wearing the items. So, this year, I am going to fix this, and I'm going to wear it, and I am just going to be doing a rolled, I think this would look really nice with just a rolled collar, circular collar, and that would be, you know, perfect. This is, I don't know. I just really love this one. I don't think I've ever talked about it before, but yeah, this is one of my first knitted sweaters, actually. And so there's like some fun little quirks about it. We can just kind of roast my past self if we want. Back in the day, I used to knit everything, all my sleeves flat, and then I would sew them up. And that's because I got stressed about seaming with yarn. So, but it's gonna stay for like ever. But yeah, it's sewed on the inside. I don't know. Let's see. Alright. Also, yeah, this seaming up here, pretty messy. The fit is actually really good though. I did knock it out of the park in that, and yeah, the pattern is like top notch. It's really fun, and it's fun. It's really fun to just have a Christmas themed sweater that I can just wear every year, and it's very festive. So when I pull this out, you know it's Christmas time. So yeah, this I think will look so much nicer with a rolled collar, and will be so much more wearable. And maybe I will wear it not just at Christmas time, because, you know, life is too short to just pull it out once a year. So that is the last project that I'll do. I might be able to use this yarn. If not, I do have leftovers. This is just old Hobby Lobby acrylic. Some of their, I love this yarn brand. So I probably wouldn't recommend it now. It's great if you're starting out learning how to knit. The pilling is very, very low. If you can see, the stitch definition is actually really, really nice. So I can't say that I don't recommend this yarn. But anyway, thank you so much for watching this, for being here. Welcome to everyone. I'm so happy to be posting this kind of stuff. I personally just can sit and watch knitting vlogs, knitting podcasts for hours and hours and hours, and that's my preferred way to really get inspired, and I love knitting along as I watch these. So if you want to stay, I will be posting these a lot more. I'm really, really excited to share some of my future projects. Besides the red and pink sweater, I've got so much planned. I've got probably 3 or 4 sweaters planned. If it all comes to fruition, we'll see. I just love designing stuff and making it. So yeah, let me know what you're making. Let me know what you're doing, what your future knitting plans are, and thank you. I will see you in the next video.